Hey guys, welcome. So, as a business owner, I think the most important thing is understanding your finances. If you're going to start business credit, I created a business credit blueprint that I wanted to share with you. So, here we have our business credit blueprint. I am going to leave a link below so that you can go ahead and get the same template that I'm going over with you. So, there are 10 steps to building business credit in this ebook that I created. Now, if for those who don't know who I am, my name is Crystal Bitar. I am a hotelier, business owner, and investor, and I'm just sharing my journey with you on my platforms. Okay. Now, I wanted to get with you regarding the first step, which is establishing a legal business entity. So, before you begin your business journey, you want to make sure that you separate your personal and business in every way possible, which is your name and your finances. So, here on the first point, I have where I talk about liability protection, why you want to do that, why, when you do that as well, you're going to be creating a credibility with customers and partners because you are now a business as an LLC rather than yourself. Also, there are great tax benefits regarding your entity when you create your business. And also, you're going to have more access to higher credit limits if you were to create your business, LLC, or corporation. And so, this is why it's so important when you're building your business credit that you want to establish it as a business and separate yourself. Now, to get your EIN, it is free. There is no cost to that. But being in Texas, just from my experience, getting an LLC is about $300. And you could do it yourself if you know what you're doing. If not, you should probably get maybe your CPA or someone to help you with that to get your LLC. And then when you do that, you want to go ahead and apply for your EIN. And in my template, I do have links here so that you can click on it and it's going to take you where you need to go. Now, what I suggest is when you create your LLC, when you create your EIN, please I this is just it's going to save you so much headache later on when you are dealing with banks and like years later down the road. Not only save it as a PDF, but print it out and place it in a binder. Okay, because you're going to need this information. If you're not really organized with saving your documents, at least you have a binder regarding your business information. Now, once you get your EIN and your LLC, you're going to want to go and open up a business bank account. So, I have mentioned many times on my platforms, it is important to establish multiple relationships with multiple banks. And later on, the reason for that is the strategy of you're going to have different options later on in your business venture where you can get um, different terms if you're needing loans in the future. But first things first, just go to your local bank and open up a business bank account. And here I have the information about what you're going to be needing to do that. And typically each bank is different, but more or less you're going to need to have your entity. Of course, your document of EIN. If you have a partnership, you're going to need the operating agreement as well. And of course, your driver's license, because they want to make sure that you are the person on this LLC as the partner. Okay. And each bank is different. Each bank is different. So that's why I would suggest if you have a local bank that you go to, they already know you. So when you start your business account, they might even do it just not with you there. I actually had one of my businesses LLC, they've known me for so many years regarding another business. And so when I wanted to open up my other business, they're like, yeah, sure, Crystal, just go ahead and drop off the documents that we're needing. And we'll go ahead and send you e-signature and open up your bank account. And then you can then just open up your online banking that will sync the account with, and you could just transfer funds to put money in the account. And I did that all remotely. I wasn't there, except I wanted to just drop off the documents they needed instead of just putting it through an email. But some banks have a secure link where you can upload your documents, But since the bank is about 10 minutes from my house, I just drove by when I was delivering some mail in the mailbox. So the next thing you want to do is, especially if you have an online presence, and it typically too, like what industry you're going to be in, you want to make sure you have a business phone number. So I listed here on my document some different types of phone services that you can look into. I don't have any affiliation with any of these here. And the thing about, I want to say, out of all of them, I really did like Nextiva. I tried it with one of my businesses, but I decided not to go with them only because it just didn't work out. And then with Ring Central, oh, I loved Ring Central, but the only downfall was that I wasn't able to text any of my clients or customers through the phone and through the app, and I really needed that feature. So these are, it just depends on what you're needing for your business, and then also like what is your price range. But once you establish your phone number, which most of these are on apps as well, you can call on the app on your phone towards to your customers. You can also put this phone number on your website. So having your websites is important too, to establish. It could just be a one page website, basically just talks about like what you do, what your services are, with your phone number, your address. If you don't have brick and mortar address, you can get a virtual address, and I can talk about more about that in my other videos. But you just want to be verifiable. They want to be able to find your presence. They want to know, like, are you legit? So having this in place before you even go ask for funding, they're going to see that you're a professional. And that is exactly what you need. You need to go in there prepared and not blind. Okay. Now, when you start with your business credit, I have listed here, you want to start off with a vendor credit. Sometimes when you're starting off with your business credit, it's kind of like, well, how do I even begin? Like, how do I even go about that? And so there are different vendors that you can get 30 net accounts, 30 net terms, to where they give you 30 days to pay whatever that you spent on that. And so I do have a list here on my link on the PDF. It's going to list you 30 vendors that I found that were very beneficial. And you can go ahead and look into that. And that's going to help you build different credit lines. And so that eventually later on, when you are, spending, paying, spending, paying, spending, paying. And then when you get to the bank later on, I want to say maybe about 3 months, wait, you can wait for about 6 months. They're going to see like, wow, you really did maintain your business credit. Wow, you have all these accounts. Yeah, I can trust you with 10, 20 grand business line of credit. So you have to start off with the net 30 vendors so that you can start establishing credit worthiness and getting towards your goal of higher credit limits. So the next thing would be applying for business credit through a platform where it's going to help monitor your credit. And then also too, with Nav, I have here, here on the link here, it's where you can also apply for credit and build. So every time you swipe, it's not only monitoring that, but it's also building your credit. And this one also as well reports to the three bureaus, which is Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. Now, Dun & Bradstreet is the main place creditors go to, especially banks, looking for your score. So finding that nerdy accounts and vendors, when you're trying to build your credit, you want to make sure you're hitting all three credit bureaus. Okay, so with Nav, they do have a platform where you log into and you can apply for the card, the Prime card, and not only are you building your credit, and it's reporting to all three bureaus. It's a great place to monitor as well. So I do have the link here on the PDF that you can download. I'll leave it in the description below and take advantage of that. Okay, so I do have here from the latest information when I logged in that the NAV Prime card is not currently in California and the other states as listed below. Now, the most important thing about once you get credit, it's important that you take care of your credit. So pay your bills on time. That is the same thing with your personal credit. Now, sometimes it's hard to even get business credit because we have really bad personal credit. So I always say, to my clients, like, if you have bad personal credit and you're afraid to even go towards the business, you can work on both at the same time. Work on your personal right now, build that up, and then later on, when you're ready for business, you can go with confidence and build that, and maybe even get lines of credit that you might need immediately, even though you didn't have enough time to build your business credit. They can look into your personal information just to see how you did, and they can use that to give you your lines of credit for your business, but they won't put you as a personal guarantee. Okay. So they can just use it and see. So you want to make sure that if they do look at your personal information, you don't want it as, to be on it personally in your business. You just want them to look at it and be like, hey, you know what? I don't really have business credit right now. I really need the funds, but I have really great personal credit. Can you look at that? I pay my bills on time and I have a long history. And so that is sometimes where they can use that to help you and give you those lines of credit. But you have to have a great personal credit to even do that. If not, then you really need to make sure that you build your business credit the right way while you work on your personal credit. Now, I have here listed places that you can monitor your credit reports. I have where it all starts off with the Duns and Bradstreet, like I mentioned, and that it's free to get your Duns number. And I have information before you even apply for your Duns number. Make sure that you don't even already have it in place. You might have it in place and you might not even know that. So it's so important that before you apply for your Duns number, look up your information, which I have here. Okay. And you can create your free nav account here by clicking on this link. And just so you know, that if you do upgrade to nav prime, you get another source of credit score, which I have here below, which is the SBSS score. Okay. And that is just going to give you just more views on how your credit score is going. Now, the next thing is the build trade references. So now that you have your trade accounts, you've been building them, you've been taking care of them, you have different tiers of vendor credit, which I will go into another video. But when you start establishing these different tiers and taking care with the tier below, you're going to have higher access to a higher amount of funds. And so with the accumulation of all those vendors, and with all of those credit limits that you have and all the amounts that you have, when you go to the bank and you list like, hey, these are all the vendors that I work with, they're gonna be like, wow, you have access to like 30 grand already, for example, and vendor credit. Yeah, we can definitely give you a loan for the 50 or for the 100 grand. So that's why it's so important, is to build these relationships, build these trade references, have everything saved in like in a binder, your information, your accounts, the contacts, so that when you go to the bank and be like, yeah, like this is all of my vendors. I took care of everyone. I paid everything on time. I'm looking for a line of credit. Typically, banks will give you a line of credit up to like 150, right? So it's really hard to be denied a credit limit of 150 for a business account. Like that is what they are known to do. They are supposed to give you 150 grand in lines of credit. So walking in with confidence with everything I just mentioned of how to set up yourself for success and to build your business credit, you're going to walk into success. Okay. Now, of course, you want to document everything. You want to document everything when you start spending money on these vendor accounts, when you start, spending money on your business. Just documenting everything is going to be the first step in your business venture. And you're going to have to find platforms, which I can talk about that later on as well. But, you have everything you need right here to get started. And if you need help with your personal credit, please go ahead and click the link below and let's get connected so that we can help you build your personal credit while you're working towards your business credit. And that is where it begins, guys. It's just getting started. I hope you found this valuable. Please like and subscribe for more information.